You clicked because you saw "Stop eating at these 13 restaurants." You're in the right place. Let's start with the quiet shortcut almost every chain on this list uses.
Hochman has also zeroed in on the equipment. His team looked for small changes they could make to save cooking time and money.
So for example, on a burger and fries, sounds simple, right? A lot goes into that. And the fries, what we found was, one, they weren't as hot as they could be.
Was there things about consumer surveys, or what had you seen when you first started that said to you, the food's got to be better and this is what I need to do?
Well, I mean, you could talk to guests, but you also talk to the team members. I mean, the team members would tell you that the food needed to be better. Home office's fault, because we gave them 2 fries to make, so we had a curly fry and a straight fry. So if you just have 1 fry, you can make it hotter and fresher. And then the seasoning process was almost impossible. So after the fries are cooked, they're put on what's called a save-a-week pan, and then they're supposed to take the shaker and do it 30 times.
Pre-cooked, frozen, or vacuum-sealed food that gets reheated and sent to your table in minutes. Now, what does that mean for you, especially if you're watching sodium, allergies, or food safety? We'll show you which menus lean on microwaves and heat lamps, where sauces sit out, and how batch-cooked meats and dirty soda nozzles slip past the brand's friendly image. If you eat out weekly, these details matter more than you think. Quick favor before we move on. If you appreciate this content, consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 92% of viewers haven't subscribed yet. It's free and only takes a second, but it means the world to us. So did you subscribe already? Great. Thank you so much for your support. Now back to the video.
Then they got the little free kids on Tuesdays. They eat free on Tuesdays, stuff like that, so we bring them here.
But Denny's meals, available 24/7, were prepared in the same kitchen alongside live roaches crawling around on the cook's line, server station, and front counter.
They were repeat violations. You've had issues with roaches before.
I just started with the companies a week ago.
But inspectors didn't just start finding the problems now. Roaches were crawling in the kitchen last year, too.
That's how been taken care of.
Eddie Arizaga introduced himself as the new general manager.
You had roaches and temperature issues.
Not anymore.
Arizaga defended the restaurant, but didn't know much about the recent food safety issues or the state's repeated warnings to clean up.
If the kitchen line sounds like a duet of microwaves and sizzling pans, ask yourself what you're buying, the steak or the show. Let's start with the real move behind that sizzle. Large chains keep costs down by leaning on pre-cooked, frozen, or vacuum-sealed parts. They heat fast, plate fast, and pass as grilled with one loud sear. Menus sell fresh, house-made, and grilled. The back end runs a pipeline. Many items arrive sealed or prepped off-site, then get reheated to order. It reads like cooking. It works like assembly. Here's the performance. A bag comes out. The protein gets microwaved for temp, then tossed on a hot skillet for color and sound. You hear a hiss and see steam. The method says prepped. The skillet is theater. Sauces do heavy lifting. They land the flavor, the gloss, and most of the salt. Shelf-stable blends or bulk tubs sit ready to pour, which is a problem if you track sodium. One ladle can swing the whole plate.
And that food at dangerous temperatures. This 24/7 diner is tonight's Dirty Dining Report. After 60 years in business, you'd think all Denny's restaurants around the country would know how to keep food safe, but that's not true for one Bay Area location, repeatedly checked by inspectors for roaches crawling around the food.
Applebee's is the poster child in reports from former staff and reviews. Vacuum-sealed components, sides blasted warm, and fajitas finished on a smoking pan to look cooked to order. The skillet plays the hero. The prep happened long before you sat down. Chili's shows the same pattern. The freezer feels like the chef. Meats arrive pre-cooked. Sauces hold on the line. When the rush hits, portions drift because speed wins. Why the rush? Speed of service targets. Batch cook wings. Hold them under lamps. Sauce to order, push the table turn. Quicker checks, but you risk limp texture, dried edges, and fewer nutrients from all that holding. The truth is, the rumored 80% frozen or vacuum-sealed setup in these grills isn't just a rumor in practice. It is the operating system. If a dish tastes the same from coast to coast, that sameness rode in on a freezer truck, not a farmer's truck. Now let's move on to what that means for your health. The sodium load hiding in the sauce, the allergy risks on a crowded line, and the safety issues when prepped food lingers warm. What turns a comfort meal into a health gamble?
So you skinny down the menu. Why is the menu that you have now the right menu?
Huge advantages come out of slimming down the menu, or allows us to make the food better. So for example, the chicken crispers, we used to have two chicken crispers. We had a tempura battered crisper called the original crisper. And when you go into the back of the restaurant, the heart of the house, they have very small little pans with which they can bread each of those flavors, right? Because there's two flavors in this breading station that's about this big. When we got rid of the 20% variant, we could now have one big vat where we can make 24 at a time. It's about 20% of the chicken crisper business. And then we had a conventional extra crispy, we call it a crispy crisper. It's 80% of the business, right?
3 quiet culprits do the work: salt-heavy sauces, dirty lines, and food held at the wrong temperature. One hits your blood pressure. One spreads allergens and germs. One lets bacteria party. In high-volume kitchens, all 3 stack. Let's start with the safety triangle. Sodium load is the flavor crutch. Cross-contamination is the slip when tools and hands bounce between bins. Temperature control is the guardrail that fails when food sits too long in the warm zone. Add rush tickets and a crowded line, and the odds get worse. The friendly grill vibe hides habits that raise risk. Meats get batch cooked, then parked under heat lamps. Sauces sit out in big tubs waiting for ladles. Shared tongs hop from raw trays to ready plates when the line gets slammed. It looks smooth. It is often sloppy. Here's the research-backed part. Health inspectors cite temperature control failures and dirty gear a lot. Soda nozzles and ice machines can build up slime and film you never taste until you do. It's not a headline. It's a pattern. Think buffalo-style setups. Wings get par-cooked, held warm, then dunked in pre-mixed sauces. That's fast, but quality and safe temps don't always keep up, and texture goes limp the longer they sit. Buffet-style spots bring their own risks. Slow turnover leads to lukewarm pans. Stations drift out of range. Storage can put raw near ready to eat, which raises the cross-contamination odds without anyone noticing. Now the sodium lens, especially for seniors. One entree plus sauce can blow past a day's limit. Salads don't save you if the dressing, soup base, or healthy bowl relies on salty mixes. The greens are fine. The pour is the problem. Allergy angle, busy lines and prepped bins make stray add-ins more likely. Nuts in a salad, dairy residue in a pan, especially when staff race the clock. One slip is all it takes. So watch for red flags, unlabeled sauce tubs, limp greens, a glossy heat lamp sheen on proteins, and drinks that taste off. Spot 2 of those and your risk and your sodium just went up. If this gave you something to chew on, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who orders the healthy option and still leaves thirsty. The truth is, speed and scale reward reheat lines, not real cooking. You pay for the sizzle while the risks stack up: salt, germs, and guesswork hiding under that shine. Before you order, scan the scene. Heat lamp gloss on meat. Sauce tubs without labels. A fresh promise that plates in minutes. Choose simpler cuts, fewer sauces, and sides without mystery mixes. Or skip the spot. If you're a senior, you might want to dodge the salt bomb altogether. One saucy plate can tip your day. Like and subscribe to help us keep the spotlight on the food industry's best-kept secrets, and tell us which chain to audit next.